What are the provinces of the Atlantic region? Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Which federal political party is in power? Conservative Party. Why is the Constitution Act of 1982 important in Canadian history? Canada can't modify the Constitution without the approval from the British government. Which of the following are the responsibilities of federal government? National defense, foreign policy, international trade and Aboriginal affairs. In what year did Canada become a country? 1867. Which federal political party is in power? Conservative Party. Which party is in power in Ontario? Liberal Party. More than half of Canada's aeronautics and space industry are located in which province? Quebec. What three oceans border Canada? Pacific, Arctic and Atlantic. What did the government do to make immigration to Western Canada much easier? Completed the Canadian Pacific Railway. What is a responsible government? The government must resign if it loses a confidence vote in the Assembly. Which region covers more than one-third of Canada? Northern Canada. How can a party in power be defeated in Parliament? If a majority of the MPs vote against a major government decision. Which province is on the Pacific coast of Canada? British Columbia. What does a member of Parliament do? He or she links Canadians to the federal government. Who are Quebecois? They form a nation within the United Canada. What are the provinces of Central Canada? Ontario and Quebec. What are three key facts about Canada's system of government? A federal state, a parliamentary democracy and a constitutional monarchy. Which region of Canada is known for its fertile agricultural land and energy resources? Prairie provinces. What principle was Canada's Constitution founded on? Peace, order and good government. Which province has the most valuable forest industry in Canada? British Columbia. For what is the Okanagan Valley famous? For its orchards. What is a cabinet minister? MP, selected by the Prime Minister to run federal departments. Which four provinces first formed Confederation? Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Which two provinces produce more than 3/4 of Canadian manufactured goods? Ontario and Quebec. Which province is Canada's main producer of pulp and paper? Quebec. When did thousands of miners first come to Yukon? 1890s. Who is the Queen's representative in Canada? Governor-General of Canada. How are senators chosen? Appointed by the Governor-General, on the advice of the Prime Minister. Who is the leader of the official opposition party of Ontario? Tim Hudak. Which party becomes the official opposition? The opposition party with the most MPs. What do political parties do? Share ideas about how government should work. Which three legal rights are protected by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Mobility rights, official language rights and Aboriginal peoples' rights. What is the name of the Governor-General? David Johnston. What are the regions of Canada? Atlantic, North, Central, Prairies, and West Coast. Where do more than half of the people in Canada live? Central Canada. When did the United Empire Loyalists come to Canada? Late 1700s. Which two provinces are on the Atlantic coast of Canada? Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. What are the three parts of Parliament? The Queen, the House of Commons and the Senate. What outcome and significance did War of 1812 with USA have for Canada? Canada kept its independence from the United States. What do the initials MP stand for in Canadian politics? Member of Parliament. How many electoral districts are there in Canada? 308. How does a bill become a law? Must be approved by a majority in the House of Commons and Senate, and received royal assent. What party is the official opposition at the federal level? The New Democratic Party. When did the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms become part of the Constitution? 1982. Where do the majority of Metis live in Canada? Prairie provinces. What is an electoral district? A geographical area represented by a member of the House of Commons. Which of the following are the responsibilities of federal government? National defense, foreign policy, international trade and Aboriginal affairs. How is the Prime Minister chosen? The leader of the party with the most elected members of Parliament. What level of government passes bylaws? Municipal or local government. To what ocean is Newfoundland closest? Atlantic. Who do provincial members of the Legislative or National Assemblies represent? Everyone who lives in the provincial or territorial electoral district. Who is the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario? David C. Onley. What unique art form was developed by First Nations people on the West Coast? Totem poles. When was the Canadian Pacific Railway finished? Late 1800s. Which region covers more than 1/3 of Canada? Northern Canada. When did the British North America Act come into effect? 1867. What part of the Constitution legally protects basic rights and freedoms of Canadians? The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Canada has 3 territories and how many provinces? 10. How is the Prime Minister chosen? The leader of the party with the most elected representatives becomes the Prime Minister.